It's a battle for first place in the Region 8 Conference as the number 8 Eastern Florida State College women's soccer team takes on number 7 Daytona State College. Live from the Titan Soccer Complex on the Melbourne campus, it's the Titans and the Falcons next. It is shaping up to be a beautiful evening in Melbourne for a top 10 showdown in Region 8. That's what we have for you this afternoon and this evening on WEFS TV as the Titans of Eastern Florida State College taking on their rivals from Daytona State. Good evening and welcome everybody. Alongside Eddie Rodriguez, I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks so very much for joining us for Titan Soccer here on WEFS. And this is what it comes down to. These are the top two teams in the region, and Daytona State won the previous matchup. That means Eastern Florida, to get the top seed, has to win tonight.
That's right, Jeff. This is the game we've been waiting for. The number 8 seed in the Region 8 against the number 7. You're right. It was a rainy afternoon, and, of course, Daytona State won 2-1. So for the Titans playing at home here, they want to get that game back and get in the winning ways.
Falcons 9-1, 4-0 in conference play, fielding virtually the same team that they had a year ago. They are freshmen that have turned to sophomores. When we come back, we'll meet the starting lineups as we await the entrance from these two teams. And this is what you play for, and on a Monday night, no less. In conference play, perfect field conditions, Eddie. This is what it's all about.
Oh, absolutely perfect conditions, and just the fact that they're pretty much neighbors. You know, Daytona just a few miles up the street, and it looks like we're gonna have a pretty good crowd. You know, I mean, just for two teams that know each other.
Yeah.
I know it's their second year in the program, but they're gonna go at it today.
The I-95 Derby now in its second season, as each team will be presented to a nice crowd here in Melbourne this evening. There's again a lot on the line. See a lot of traveling folks from down I-95. We'll now listen into the national anthem sung by Jaden Brooks.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jaden Brooks for that rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Introductions will continue. Again, it's the Titans and the Falcons, and of course Eastern Florida looking for some vengeance. You know, they're up for this battle, and they've got quite a matchup of players they're going against, but a squad they're probably familiar with. Heather Nolte, their leading scorer with 9 goals, 2 assists.
You know, just a handful up front. She's got the size, she's got the speed, she's got the notion for the goals. So Eastern Florida's got to keep their eye on Heather Nolte.
Sophomore out of Lake Howell High School in Winter Springs, just down the 528. On the other side for Eastern Florida, another Central Florida high school soccer product and prodigy from Montverde Academy, Natalie Da Silva.
Very familiar with her, and you can tell their soccer Brazilian flair right there, what she brings to the game. Of course, great on free kicks. She scored 1 last week, so you got to keep an eye on her. 2, she adds so much because she takes players on all the time, always 1 against 2, so she's going to unbalance that defense for Daytona State.
The Region 8 Freshman of the Year a year ago when she scored 13 goals, 3 goals off that pace. As here are the starting 11s for each side. Eastern Florida, it is the usual suspect, starting in the back with Sarah Deinert at keeper, and it's a great keeper matchup. On the other side, Kristen Shores, front runner for All-American at that position out of New Smyrna Beach. Again, right up the road. The familiarity is there. And Daytona, again, along up, it'll be a 4-3-3 with Michaela Krebser, Heather Nolte, and Alexis Vasquez top of the formation. Here's a look at the coaches. Jeff Carr, now in his 8th season. Maggie Manville is the assistant coach for the number 7 Daytona State Falcons. Brittany Jones is the head coach in her 2nd season. Has not arrived on site yet, stuck in traffic a bit, but just now getting here, we're seeing. Here are our referees. Our head referee tonight will be Jonathan Quinter, assisted by Eden Kapijic and Hassan Belmnaya. Everybody bump fists, come out fighting, right?
That's it. You got to bring it. This is one of those games that, this is how rivalries start. 2 programs that are doing things the right way, 2 programs that are good on the field. As you see Jeff and Brittany just chatting for a few minutes before the game. Just a normal conversation before you go to battle, go to work.
You made it. Well, again, Brittany leading a 2nd-year program that went 11-3 and 4-2 in the conference in its first year, and was able to knock off the mighty Titans earlier this season. A 2-1 defeat for the Titans on the 1st of October. They've rattled off a number since. I believe this is a 6-game unbeaten streak now for Eastern Florida. A final set of instructions, and I tell you what, Daytona State, Eddie, they have a huge roster, a very, very deep bench, as they really look to recruit heavily from the Central Florida area.
Yeah, no, Brittany does a great job recruiting, not only from the Central area, but just from Florida, period. Of course, she used to be at Florida Southern, so she knows the club system in Florida, and she knows, a lot of the director coaches, so she does a great job recruiting. And you're right. I mean, you look at a roster of almost 28, 29 players deep, so that's a lot of players that don't get to play. But at the same time, when your numbers call and you can answer that call, you're going to have depth in that talent pool.
How star-studded is this game? 13 of the top 15 goal scorers in the state of Florida play for either Eastern Florida State College or Daytona State College. That's what you're going to see here tonight. So glad to have you along. Jeff Radcliffe, Eddie Rodriguez, and our entire WEFS crew have been looking forward to call this one for a long time. We're underway in Melbourne. Daytona State attacking left to right in the black uniforms, and Eastern Florida in the home whites, blue shorts. And we'll see if they start on the front foot here, as Daytona State looking to clinch the top spot in the conference here this afternoon. Make that this evening, as it's now past 6 p.m.
When Jeff, you and I talk about the importance of the first 5 minutes of the half and the last 5 minutes, because this is when nerves are pretty high. You want to make sure you settle down and implement some of the system you're trying to play. And if you want to do something, just isolate number 11, Da Silva. She can go one-on-one. Give her the ball and get out of the way. Make some runs off of her, and she'll do the rest.
Kalisha DeRue will. There, the throw-in is ready to go. To the byline it goes. He'll go in behind for the first goal kick of this match. Again, now you'll see Kristen Shores, keeper, with a minuscule 0.38 goals against average, just 3 goals allowed all season.
Well, as you mentioned, definitely a candidate for All-American, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the country right now. With that goal average and just the fact that she commands that box. Does a great job just coming out and just owning that.
Foul in the center of the park brings it back to the Falcons.
And of course it helps to have a pretty good solid defense in the back as well. Right in front of you.
A battle in the midfield will be a key to watch here all night.
Yeah, no, that's going to be huge. Just the matchups in the middle, and can you keep up with the speed of the game and transition as well? The balls and transitions that you cannot afford to lose.
be lost on the throw. Daniel Gomez is both benches staring right into the setting sun. So you and I have the best view in the house looking out. A great crowd here tonight.
Well, it's to be expected. You know, Daytona not too far from here, and just the fact that this is pretty much the game, the rivalry of the year. There's two schools, you know, probably the top two programs. You see Da Silva gets fouled from behind, but that's what you want to do. Just isolate her with the ball. You can take 2 or 3 players on, get rid of the pressure, and then you can switch your point of attack. Look for someone open on the other side.
Garriga gets a good touch on the ball, tries to send it through. Gomez is going to have to backtrack here. And you see Heather Nolte making a streak all the way back towards the keeper, Deinert. And the pressure will come.
Yeah, and it's okay to play that negative ball to your goalkeeper rather than lose the ball, but you got to make sure that when you give her the ball, it's got to be a good ball.
Held up by Kayla Armstrong, Colorado native there. He'll boss things in the center of the park. Now won by Da Silva. Steps over once and will be muscled as good as possible.
There you saw the little
turned
mag job
over.
right there. And
Armstrong begins things, running in on goal, shot on the way, and Daytona State strikes first. Number 17, Michaela Krebser with her 8th goal of the season. The Titans now in an early hole.
well, Da Silva loses the ball in the middle, bad giveaway, and no one's marking her. The weak side right there. She goes in by herself. Keeper comes out, and Michaela Krebser does the rest. Keeper doesn't totally come out. She gets a glove on that, but if you're going to come out, you got to come out all the way. She kind of was in no man's land, and good job for Michaela Krebster on that finish.
And back on the ball once more. Daytona State want to prove that first win was not a fluke. In that game, they were outshot 16-5 on their home field by Eastern Florida, but won the battle on the scoreboard 2-1.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Jeff. The first 5 minutes where mistakes are more than likely going to happen then because the game has just started. People are not really settled, so Daytona State taking advantage of that.
One thing you notice when you're looking at Daytona State is the size they possess in the midfield. They will win balls physically.
Yeah, even the two
They're
center backs.
They're very physical. Yeah.
You see Kyla Armstrong, probably one of the tallest players on the field, the biggest size, just as well of their number 20, Heather Nolte. We talked about her in the intros.
That one's going to skip by the near post. It'll be in behind a goal kick. So Eastern Florida continuing to face pressure here in the early going.
And she had a wide open player in the far post. As Danielle Gomez tucked inside the outside player, which is where Michaela Krebser came in from in the first goal, just wide open from the left flank.
Chested down by Nolte. Job on the ball now, sent to that left side. Trying to get a cross away right at Deinert that time.
Yeah, once again, the left side from Daytona just remains open, so Eastern Florida have to commit one player to go to the outside.
And Da Silva running at numbers. And it was held up just enough. Good team defense, turned around by Warner in the midfield. Run comes from Krebser on the outside. 2 Krebsers in the game. Michaela was the one that scored. Maya is the left back. Both sophomores, twins out of Bradenton Manatee High School. So be cleared Olivia Thomas. And it'll be a throw for Eastern Florida. Opportunity here for Eastern Florida. As Gomez will look right into the sun to throw. You want to get these long throws and corners on the near side to make the goalkeeper look into that setting sun.
Absolutely, you got to take advantage of that situation.
Ball back across.
Especially if you're throwing the ball from where you are, from this angle, you can tell the sun is right on her face. And take advantage of that. Throw-ins, free kicks, anything around the box.
I'll trot back and wait. Taking the time. Shores. Into the midfield. Header was won by Warner. Krebser will continue the run. Already has the goal. Sends another ball in. Chloe Whitaker trying to clear in front of Nolte.
And the difference in this game, pretty much, Daytona keeps controlling the ball, and Eastern Florida, they need to come out, put a little bit of pressure, and then once they have the ball, they got to keep it. They're rushing a little bit too much. They need to settle down.
We do see a 29 out there. I'm not sure if we have a jersey change, but we're still trying to figure out who that may be.
Now she's
for
playing
Daytona State.
Attacking center mid for Daytona State. Dangerous free kick right outside the 18, right in the corner.
Now standing over there is Armstrong, the taller of the two players. The unknown number 29 there as well.
Unknown, yeah.
So we are efforting to get that name for you. Sometimes the laundry wasn't done properly, so jersey numbers change. How into the box, a little flick attempt, and boy, Daytona State playing with a full head of steam here. They'll have a corner kick.
Yeah, great job by Lockwood though, just stepping in. She read the whole play, and she stepped in and just got a piece of that shot. But that's a lot of the times that's all you need. You don't need to win the whole ball, but as long as you poke it a little bit, get it out of the way.
Putting it down. Whipped in. And the sun goes.
And swinger from Daytona. Once again, they get the ball, and they continue to put pressure on Eastern Florida at the attack. This is one of those situations where you want to just clear the ball if you're Eastern Florida. Just get the ball out.
Corner kick on the way. Trying to go up 2-0. Is headed towards that back post. Boy, clear to the top and then sent right back into the mixer.
Yeah, Armstrong gets right foot on that. Not on frame, though. The ball was coming pretty fast. She wasn't able to bring the ball down. But once again, they continue to put pressure on Eastern Florida. And swinger ball all the way to the back post. And you see the ball gets there to Armstrong. You see her right here, makes contact with the ball.
So. Just 10 minutes in and facing a lot of pressure here, Eastern Florida. Thinking 29 could be Megan Warner. And she's on the ball now. Normally wears 18. You tell me, Eddie, do you see another 18 out there? I thought I had.
I don't, but I think you're right. I thought I did.
Again on the ball. A lot of confidence, Armstrong. And Titans cannot get it out of their own back half here.
No, and good
Nolte.
chance for Heather Nolte. And if there's a player that you don't want to leave her by herself outside, it's her. She gets the ball for Armstrong. She rushed the shot one-footed where she could have trapped that ball and she would have had a chance to go to goal.
Megan Dees will check in for substitution here, the sophomore out of Winter Haven. Transfer out of Flagler College.
Well, we know Megan's a good defender, so bringing her back in, that's a great coaching sub right now by Jeff Carr. Right now you need to solidify the defense, and Get some
Giving it
things
right
going.
back, though, Vasquez. Alexis out of Orlando's Timber Creek High School will send it to the back post. Boy, they are smelling blood, the Falcons. Titans just need something, even if it's against the run of play, to back them off a little bit.
Yeah, but this is when you got to be able to hold the ball. So if not, you're going to be playing defense for 90 minutes.
It's never easy. Eastern Florida, if you're just joining us, chasing the game. A fourth minute goal from Michaela Krebser, her 8th of the season. That's the difference here. Very one-sided to start.
So now Jeff Kartik's both fullbacks out.
So Natalie De Silva can't keep it in. Finally, Eastern Florida with a chance to keep it in the attacking half. And a roll free. Una Supon immediately pressured by Nolte. Whitaker, boy, the pressure continuing to come.
Yeah, that's a dangerous ball by Supon, switching the point of attack, and look where they go. So now they lose the ball all the way on the other side of the field. So possession has to be a lot quicker and a lot sharper as well, Jeff. As you know, you play some of those negative balls or some of those square balls, they come back to hunt you at the end.
Destiny DeLuca couldn't track it down. De Silva to Lockwood. Gonna get the ball at the feet of your playmakers.
Yeah, and that's exactly when Lockwood needs to hold on to the ball and spring it forward, but you got to play their feet. You're right. You're going to play that 1-2 has to be so much more precise than it is.
Stay on the back foot. Whitaker.
This is not one of those games, Jeff, that Eastern Florida can afford to come out flat. They got to pick up their tempo. They got to pick up their speed. This is the type of team, Daytona, that they'll punish you.
Silva trying to search a ball through. Lockwood was there, but played well defensively by Thomas. Into touch it goes. Headed back towards the keeper. No problem for Shores.
That's a good idea by Da Silva, looking for that far post. Run by the Spaniard, Cristina Garriga.
A throw. Will come in. We think now 29 Sinead Hopcroft. Go with that. The sophomore out of Aylesbury, England. Normally wears number 10. She plays like a number 10. We'll give her
she
that.
definitely plays like a number 10.
A prototypical playmaker in any attack. DeLuca. Freshman out of Melbourne, up the line. Daru and De Silva, who's kind of playing at the top of the formation now from distance. Not going to challenge Shores that much. 15 minutes in, still trailing the Titans here. Everybody. Nolte got the first touch and will start the attack. Here comes the pace from Krebser on the outside. Tries to take a heavy touch. Well done by DeLuca to stop the advancement.
Yeah, once again, you see how quick number 20 checks to the ball, Heather Nolte. She plays the ball out wide, and that's the reason why she's so successful. She plays like a number 9. She's going to hold the ball, lay it off, and then you saw her making that run towards the middle. So if the ball is crossed, she's there to finish it.
Line, another cross is away. That one's in behind though. Eastern Florida will look to regroup. Krebser, Nolte, and Vasquez getting forward with reckless abandon, and you've got Armstrong and Hopcroft just pulling the strings.
That's the ball that you got to win the second ball. Ball comes out of the back by Suppan on a kick. Eastern Florida has to be able to bring the ball down, settle it down, use the width. They haven't played any ball side to side, because once you do that, you're going to keep the ball and you can actually start playing the penetrating run.
Dealt by Dees. Back at the foot of Armstrong. Great pace, not enough to outrace that one to the line. Back come the Titans on the throw. Cannot keep the ball.
Tell you, a great
Highly
adjustment
unusual.
by Jeff Carr. You can tell ever since the two players came in, Dietz on the left and on the right side,
Well, they moved
Destiny
Del
Del Duca. And that just pretty much tying up a great tackle by Lakewood in the middle. Those are the type of tackles, Jeff, that are going to send a message early. You like that physicality in
Yeah,
the
you
middle
wanna
of the
see
field.
that. Answer back. Vasquez to hold. Now pressure being put on by De Silva.
And see the difference now. They're getting to tackles. They're winning the ball. They're not letting Daytona State come out and dictate the pace and direction of the game. So now that's where you got to keep it. You switch your point of attack, and now you're playing the game.
And Armstrong at the foot of Hopcroft, the native of England.
And you see how quick she is even with a ball. She's got that quick step.
Carroll was there. There'll be a throw here for Daytona State. Boy, switch a play to the far side, outruns everybody. Looking back at the Katie Lockwood tackle here, Eddie.
Yeah, and this is the type of tackle, once again, they're going to dictate the tempo, especially at the middle. You run through the player. As you can tell, she got all ball, so there's nothing malicious about it. And especially, as you know, Jeff, in the middle of the field, that's where this game is going to be won, because you're playing against a very good Daytona State team that if you give them time, if you give them space, they're going to hurt you and they're going to punish you.
De Silva on the near flank, trying to turn Tyler Einsman. And again, one and done. Armstrong, the outlet. Maya Krebser. Foul. And I'm not sure what else right now. Jeff Carr, what buttons he's thinking about pushing. They need an answer.
Well, right now he's done well because he needed to take care of the team defensively, not give anything in the middle anymore. He's done that.
Yes.
So now you got to worry about keeping the ball in the middle and in transition as well. You got to get your players involved, your best players. Keisha Daru really hasn't touched the ball.
Vasquez with a pretty little step over. Suppan there to defend. Now back out to Einsman, the right back. Into the 18 it goes. Had to be sure-footed was DeLuca. Sticks to the foot of Sophia Carroll. Dees requesting permission for flyby from Alexis Vasquez. And pass the ball to get out of trouble. Down the line and out of play.
Yeah, Suppan's got Chloe Whitaker to her right, wide open, and I know you don't want to play too much out of the back, but if it's on, you want to play it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing a lateral ball when it's on. It's going to allow you to keep the ball as well.
And Hopcroft. Again, this is virtually the same team we saw here a year ago in the region final. Daytona State that year was all freshmen. This year they've a year older, a year wiser, and a year better.
Went to your point, Jeff. You're right. That's the reason why they have this great chemistry, because they've been playing together for a whole year now. And as you mentioned, You know, you had 25 games of experience for the majority of this Daytona State players, and you got pretty good chemistry.
Chemily with a golazo! And we are level at 1. She just entered the game, Eddie, and makes an immediate impact.
Well, talk about making an impact out of the bench. That's what I was talking about. You got to keep the ball. Eastern Florida does just that, and Chemily, what a goal to the far post, in-swinger. She gets the ball, great ball right here. She cuts the ball to the back. She looks up, far post, in-swinger, and she says, hello, Jeff. As she walks into this game, making it 1-1 for Eastern Florida. Just what they needed right now. Great strike to the far post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. Christian Shores.
It's a whole new ball game now. 1-1 the score. Midway through half number 1. Game that means so much. Let's see. Goals change games, and let's see if this puts a little skip to the step of the Titans.
Great ball by Wiseman, by the way, who gets the assist. And see, here's what happens. You put a little pressure. Now they're giving you the ball right around the 18.
Need a little bit more of that. Test that back line a little bit more, as they've been exclusively in their own half. Now we'll have a throw in the attacking third.
As we say in the game, Jeff, there's nothing like a little pressure. You want to see somebody operate? Put them under pressure. Let's see how good they are. That is the case right now with Eastern Florida putting a little bit of pressure on the Daytona State defense.
Back to Chemily. Just scored her 4th goal of the season.
And what a great time goal that was, because Eastern Florida really needed that right now.
You mentioned the assist from Wiseman. That's her 9th. That puts her into the team lead with Nat Da Silva.
And of course, once again, Jeff Carr doing a great job just making a couple of subs defensively. And then after that, he brings Chemily, who the very first touch.
Make something happen. Throw for Megan Dees. Da Silva. Get around 2 defenders. And Daytona State will have possession. Throw in. Einsman. Hopcroft. Incredibly technical player. Taken right off the foot of Nolte, a little too lackadaisical at pulling the trigger.
Great job by Wiseman, stealing the ball out of the back. Plays Gomez out wide.
Gomez advanced a little higher. We'll switch it. Squaring to Dees, knocks it down to her feet. As Da Silva left, that's where she goes with it. 1-on-1. We'll switch it to the far side. Gomez was trying to run underneath it.
See what a huge difference now that Eastern Florida is able to switch your point of attack. Brings the fullback, which is Dees, and the back. And here comes the counter from Daytona State.
One more time from Krebser along the left side. Wiseman caught up and put it out. Good defending there.
I don't think you're going to beat Whitaker out wide like that. She's got some wheels, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Whitaker. Excuse me. Pacey freshman out of Atlanta.
And that was Michaela Krebster from Daytona State. And
here's Christina Garriga. We'll check back in for Wiseman. Garriga, 10 goals this season. Clecia and Natalie all entering the game with 10. But scoring by committee this year. Diners take it with about 20 minutes to go in this first half. Level at 1.
And this is exactly what Eastern Florida needs to do. Play out of the back, not dribble, but keep the ball in position. They're good enough. Your fullbacks, your center backs are good. This great ball.
Garriga, the Spaniard, will give chase. Will take it to the line.
They got a corner. Great
out
job.
Of it. So effort yields a set piece opportunity here.
Great job by Katie Lockwood right here. She drives the ball with an idea, looking for the Spaniard. Cristina on top. Garriga getting to the in line, and she wins that corner. That's great, because now you can set up. You send Lockwood, who can actually drive a ball, pinpoint accuracy anywhere she wants to. You want to use every bit of that 6-foot frame of Cristina Garriga, the Spaniard.
Katie, a sophomore out of Lockwood, with an out swinger. All rolls. Here's a big battle for the 50-50. Good touch by Suppan. Get it back to Dees. Pressure immediately coming. Gotta be sure-footed. Falcons know all about using the pressure.
Yeah, but see, this is different now. This is great because now they can break the pressure from Daytona because they can come out of the back playing. That's exactly what Jeff Carr's been doing with this program. Just play the game the way it should. Play out of the back when it's on, and it's not on. You can play the negative ball as long as you keep the ball and you can build out of the back and play that.
Just don't give it away. Just don't
Absolutely
dump it
right.
down the field. And
Well, because every time you hit the ball up in the air, it's a 50-50 ball, right? So you want to minimize those unless you can play somebody into space, as Daytona does right here. Right into the hole.
roll too far.
And that's one of the things that happens. Too far, too short. You got to hit the right ball. But in the meantime, there's nothing, especially in this beautiful field we have here. You got to put the ball down and play it.
Sometimes, and you've mentioned it, the game situation dictates how you're going to play. A lot of times the word direct is such a bad word, and not necessarily that it's not always the case, and that if you are being pressed and you need to be able to break the line quick, sometimes that's the right play to
That's
play.
a great point you bring up. You're going to play however the opponent allows you to play. If they're not putting pressure on you, of course you're going to build and all that, but you're right. And people misuse that word direct. Direct means you just go to goal. Now, if you're going to play kickball, that's a different thing.
Okay.
But direct means you're just trying to go direct,
Quick as possible.
With as many touches as you
Dutch.
can. If you have somebody who can drive the ball on the money, you hit a 50-yard ball direct, you're going forward. But, the key is play side to side once that open.
And you have to have pace to be able to play that way.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Of course,
where you
Eastern
miss a
Florida
Darian
last
Davis.
year, right, when we had Darian Davis here, you played direct because that was on. Of course, you had Bunny and Darian Davis on top, and that was the dynamic duo on top, so you can play any through ball direct, and Darian Davis was on. Great pressure right there. Oh, Da Silva almost pinched that ball.
Coming back, Chemely, who's injected a lot of energy here. D steps in front. Daytona State's expended a lot of energy here in the early going. Boy, there's a direct ball right into the path. Garriga got a touch to it. Wiseman will save it. No, over the line.
Great ball by Da Silva, though. He put Cristina Garriga through.
Oof, what a ball.
She tried to chip the keeper just a little bit to the left. Watch this ball right here. Great in-swinger. Cristina's making a great run. Garriga, the ball drops right there. Keeper comes out, and she just hits the ball with the outside of her right foot. If she would have hit that clean, that would have been in the back of the net for the 2-1 for Eastern Florida.
Yeah. Christian Shores played a textbook. Make yourself big.
And that's
force a brilliant goal. That's what you have to do.
Oh, absolutely. Great job by her coming out because she closed that angle and she forced Garriga to hurry up and take the shot.
Immediately the other way, Krebser. And it's going to be wasted in behind. Krebser has the opening salvo on this one. It's been since answered by.
And once again,
Chemely.
Jeff, this is what Da Silva brings. Not only can she dribble, but watch this ball right here. So precise. Great right into the spot, which is Cristina Garriga making a great run. And she just barely missed that with the outside of her right foot.
It's one of the hardest techniques in the game.
Oh,
too.
it's so hard. And, of course, the goalkeeper, Shorts, did a great job coming out and closing that gap, closing that space. So now you're going to have to rush and take that shot.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. If she would have had a little more time, then she could have taken the time, take a touch, and then put it wherever she wanted to.
Yeah, maybe chipping a ball on the run. The only thing that may be tougher is hitting a volley on the run, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, hitting a volley because
While
you
you're
got to worry
speed.
about the timing. You're right.
Yeah. Whereas getting up underneath it to get it over the keeper, the worry. Oh, down goes Weissman.
Down goes Frazier. Good through ball once again, and you can tell that Silva's always looking for Garriga, who's making some great runs, and of course, using that big frame, she can post up as a number 9, lay the ball off.
Krebser again, but now you've got a little pace on that far side to keep up with her. Back to the keeper it goes.
Well, and that's one of the things Jeff Carr did when he made that sub, when he brought Destiny Del Duca. It's matching up the speed in the outside with Michaela Krebser, who's the one who scored the goal. So now you have a pretty good matchup out wide. And right behind you have Chloe Whitaker with her speed. So it's going to be pretty tough to get behind the defense now. That's why Jeff Carr gets the big dollars.
Now earning those now. I think Brittany Jones, what she's done in just 2 years, coming over from Florida Southern, a Popka native.
No,
played
Brady
at Stetson as a defender. Go figure. The defenders always have that great instinct for offensive play, right? Because they know what was able to beat them in the past.
Well, and they do a pretty good job building their defense first and then, trying to go forward. But, yeah, Brittany's done a great job here. She did a great job at Florida Southern.
Hopcroft along with Armstrong, the two options. Driven right into the wall, back to Armstrong. Oh, Hopcroft was steampunked. And trying to play the ball through, good step two. Getting back was Green.
Yeah, and Ebony Weissman has done a great job. She's a forward for Eastern Florida, but she's dropping back so much to trying to get the ball early. She's won a couple of very crucial tackles to try to keep the ball for Eastern Florida. And then she's turning. She's going to try to spring Cristina Garriga or even Da Silva, who's making good runs from the left side. One of the reasons why Jeff Carr puts Da Silva on the left, being a predominantly right-footed player, Jeff, is the same thing where she takes the touch inside. The same ball that she played Cristina Garriga, that's on because it's your predominantly right foot.
Yeah.
So you're going cross-court, if you would.
And the touch it goes back to Daytona State. Level score line starting to be a little more evenly played as each team throwing some punches now. Free kick to Daytona.
And you see the difference now. Hopcroft has barely touched the ball in the last 10 minutes, and that's because, the defensive shape for Eastern Florida has improved so much.
Warner.
Ever since we had the two subs, and now they're rushing everything. Now they're not keeping the ball, and now, Destiny's able to step in.
Da Silva.
Oh, good idea, though. A little bit short. Once again, you see Da Silva. She make another player from Daytona. We have a player down.
And the player down is the center back, Brittany Green, out of Orange City University High School.
Yeah, she collided with Cristina Garriga when she tried to take that little touch. Her foot. I don't know if she got stepped on.
Gotta watch for my celebration.
Brittany's
Hey, we'll have a lot of this.
pick herself up off the mat. And able to do so. Good, checked out by the training staff. Coach Jones out there to escort her back. So replacement will come in. We'll take a look and see what happened here.
Yeah, Da Silva was turning. She's going to nutmeg another player. She plays that through ball. Cristina Garriga sticks her leg out. Oh, actually, yeah, she just rolled her right ankle as she was trying to trap the ball.
Set for the restart. It'll be a throw for D's. Number three coming in for Daytona State. There's Olivia Thomas. Oh, she was already out there. Maybe I'm mixing that up. 5, maybe? Yeah, Gianna Bly, sophomore out of Navarre. She's on the ball now. Put that, make no mistake, send it out of the Titan Soccer Complex.
Well, this is one of those situations where, that's what you want. Get rid of the ball so you can get your defensive scheme sorted out, you get players coming back and get that shape in. You ask questions later.
Supon right at the halfway line. Good confrontation at the top from Cheyenne Beck, who had checked in. Beck with some fresh legs chasing, but Chloe Whitaker got there first.
And that's exactly what you cannot do. You brought it up. Great point, Jeff. You cannot give the ball away in the back, because as soon as you do that, you start the counterattack from the other team.
Noah Park Wiseman, in the meantime, has DeLuca.
So that's the difficulty that you have. That's the other side of the coin, Jeff, that if you come out of the back plane, if you give the ball away, they're going to punish you. So you got to make sure that you stay nice and sharp and keep the ball.
All the way into the corner, caught up to by Vasquez. Oh, in that corridor of indecision, and then knocked over the bar. Oh, there was a hesitation there by Sarah Diners.
Yeah, Diners got to attack the
was
ball,
Beck.
and so does Supon. You got to attack the ball. Great cross. Alexis Vasquez out wide, and this is one thing you cannot do. Supon gives the ball away, and look what happens right away. Vasquez gets the ball, they play it into space, and of course now you got to have your number 7 Chloe Whitaker save the day, because Daytona was right on top of the 18 with a good chance.
Sub coming in is Naomi Garola. Like Kayla Armstrong from Legacy High School in Broomfield, Colorado, both sophomores. So former high school teammates in the game. And that went into the stands. Waiting on the ball. Off of D's. Build up until it went into touch.
And once again, Megan Dees just doing a good job defensively, just winning her battles. At some point, Jeff, you want to individualize, the player you're marking. If you start winning your battles individually, collectively as a team, more than likely you're going to have better possession and better outcome. And it all starts with the center backs and the full backs and the center mids. And Dees has done such a good job after she came in. You see her on the ball right now. And then distribution-wise, she gives the ball to Da Silva every time, and she's done.
Job by Daru. Now we'll turn on the Jets. Clecia will change direction. Numbers in front. Coming back for it is Ebony Wiseman, trying to turn on the ball. Daru. Wiseman will send it to Chemily. Will chase it into the corner. Scored from about that spot. The right foot earns the corner kick for Eastern Florida State College.
Great effort by Shamali, though. She got to the end line, tried to cross the ball, got cut off, and just her tenacity to keep going earned her a corner kick. There's a good chance for Eastern Florida. Supon gets on the 18. And once again, you see her working right there. Sarah Chamali trying to get that cross off.
Corner is away. Into the area. Chemily has got a brace. Did she finish it off, or was it Supon that will get credit?
No, it's Chamali, you're right. And once again, she's the one that prompted the corner kick. And that's the reason why you got to fight for every single ball. Just when you think the ball's out of bounds, she manages to get a corner kick. Great job by Lakewood, all the way to the far post. Supon gets a header on that, and it all started right here. Watch what she does. She tries to battle, gets a corner.
Okay.
No problem.
Got to see the actual goal to see who gets credit for that.
I think she did touch it at the end.
Chemily might have touched it, but
No,
the question
she
is, did it happen before it went over the line? But a great ball in from Supon. If that's the case, she was denied her second goal of the season. And official score, Mike Parsons gives it to Chemily, so we'll do the same as well. She's got 2 goals, and the Titans have the lead.
Here's the best part about that. Once again, another sub by Jeff Carr. And talk about as a player, Jeff, there's nothing better than coming off the bench when you haven't started that game and you just earn a great performance Now she has a brace. Now check this out again, the back camera. Ball goes to the far post from Lockwood.
Nearly back to Deinert. We see the full goal. You saw the dejection there from Kristen Shores. Might have felt she had a better opportunity at that. Now Lockwood is full head of steam now for Eastern Florida. They've resumed control. Wiseman on the diagonal. Here's De Silva. Will step to the right foot. DeRue. Flag is down. Big save made by Shores. So she got in.
That is a huge save by her, because if Eastern Florida scores the third right now, that Alicia DeRue with a great ball by Da Silva. She brings it down. And even a better play defensively by the goalkeeper. Da Silva cuts the ball in once again. Watch this ball. She's played in the two center backs. DeRue brings it down. And great job by Shorts just coming out, and she does the Jesus Christ, closing the gap right there. Arms out wide. No, you don't like that term for goalkeepers. It is. That's what they call it.
In and out there. Wiseman and on their heels right now are the Falcons after starting so strong. They've conceded 2. And Thomas, again, remember, Thomas is there. Her partner, Brittany Green, went out with an injury. And since they've conceded the goal that has them down 2-1.
No, this is when you want to continue to keep pressure. If you're Eastern Florida, the last 5 minutes of the game, of course, we talked about it. The first 5 and the last 5, it would be huge for them to go at halftime with a 3-1 lead instead of 2-1.
Daytona State has conceded just 3 goals the entire season. So far, 2 tonight in the first half.
So 5 total today, be 3 before today?
Just 3 goals all season. Yeah.
Well, just leave it up to Eastern Florida and Jeff Carr to add up to that tally, and they're not done yet.
Those 3 goals coming in a loss to Monroe College, 2-1, and then the other one was to Eastern Florida in the first meeting. Other than that, clean sheet after clean sheet.
Great job by Whitaker stepping in.
Carroll trying to answer Hopcroft. Will slow it up, and then the runner will come on the right side. Sliding challenge. Suppan takes it away from Naomi Garola.
Outstanding tackle by Suppan.
Wiseman stays in. Thomas from Port St. Lucie. It's all Titans at the moment. Far cry from the first 15 minutes of this one.
Oh, it's such a different game, and one of the best things Eastern Florida has done is go side to side, and you can see how they switch the point of attack to go from one side to the other. And what that's going to do is open up. So you see this great tackle right here by Suppan. Good ball into the space. She's a little bit late. Watch this tackle. It's great because she gets all ball. She gets up, she wins the ball, and then distributes out of the back. Great job defensively.
From Garmisch, Germany, Suppan, her sophomore season now. Shemley, a hero in this one thus far. Energy off the bench. Boy, making a case to be in that starting 11. De Silva as the flag stays down on Natalie. One-on-one, big battle here to win. Natalie gets away, pushed down in the area. Play on, says the referee, Jonathan Quinter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Quinter missed it because there's definitely contact. Da Silva getting around 2 players. She gets knocked down right around the 18. And if it's not a penalty kick, it's a foul right around the 18. But there's definitely contact. You're going to be able to see right here in the replay. Great job bringing the ball down. Gets around the defender. Gets around 2. Watch the contact from the center back. There's contact right there. Therefore, that's a penalty kick, my friend.
Might have been out of the box, but
well, even if it is outside the box,
kick,
yeah, outside. But there's definitely contact. And as the rule says, if there's contact and you go down, when you would have had a possibility to get to the ball, of course.
Spoken like a former goal scorer.
Absolutely. Or a referee. Never mind, never ref.
No.
I just know the rules, that's all.
Every coach says that, right?
Of course. Well, no, you gotta know him to pass your A license. So.
Yes, sir. Well, so much subjectivity refereeing position. It depends on what angle you see it at. Is there any simulation involved? So many things in a snap judgment, so hard for a referee to make. No video assistant referee in this match.
In all fairness, they don't have the replay and our production crew at Eastern Florida.
Yeah.
Which do a great job of providing us with great visual and
yes.
of course replays.
Our crew will see it. The problem is the referee doesn't have that.
That's why I was trying to help him out.
Like
I was trying to help him out.
Hey,
and
come
out.
look at the monitor. Do the little square.
I'll go have a chat with him at halftime.
Yeah.
Tell him that he missed that because it could have been 3-1 now. Thanks for nothing.
Well, you know he's having a good game when you haven't had to say his name at all. When it comes to the referee, that's good.
That is a great point. That is the telltale sign. If you're not talking about the referee at all during the match,
that means he's playing it
that
well.
means he's done a good job.
And Jonathan is high quality, as are the assistants. Been around this area doing games for a long time, Hassan and Eden.
No, they do a great job. Very professional crew.
And they've worked together many years. Suppan will
He
put
still
the ball
missed
down.
that call though, but no worries.
Yeah, under. It's Running the edge is Krebser. Squares it, coming back for it.
Well, I would say that Brittany Jones is going to be happy to get out of this half with a 2-1 score because it could have been worse. Could have been 3-1, and of course, in this case, you want to just finish the half, get a little bit of a breather, and sort out the lines, of course.
Final 10 seconds.
Jeff Carr did a great job on the fly.
Adjustment. Yeah. A little sleepy of a bit of a start for the Titans, but they got the lead here at halftime in Melbourne. The Titans in control, 2-1 over the Daytona State Falcons. Region 8 first place on the line. We'll come back and talk about it right after this on WEFS.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Currently, I'm enrolled at Eastern Florida State College in the AMT program, that's Aircraft Maintenance Technology, and it's a program that just started. I'm a member of the first class here at Eastern Florida. Everything we do here is FAA approved. When you're finished with this program, you will be able to receive your AMP as long as you pass all of the FAA written tests. All of the instructors here are ANPs. They have that background. Some of them have military backgrounds, some of them have teaching backgrounds already. My instructor, for example, Hampton, he was in the Army. When he got out of the Army, he took AMP school, got his AMP, and he's been working in the industry ever since. Most of the other AMP schools are just bookwork. And we actually have the cool equipment. We've got the planes, we've got the engines to work on and get that experience that you can't really get anywhere else. My biggest interest after graduating here is going to be aerospace. Those aerospace facilities like SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, GE, those are probably my top three.
Build a successful career with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. You can choose from nearly 20 tracks in today's top job fields of business, healthcare, and computer technologies, with classes tailored to meet your needs on campus and online. Students interested in making their mark in the business world have options that include general business, sales and marketing, accounting and banking, and finance.
I am pursuing my bachelor's in business organizational management, and I'm getting a specialization in human resources. Not having to go out and find an apartment and get new living situations, find a new job, just be able to stay local and pursue the degree I wanted was just phenomenal for me.
There are more choices in computer technologies with in-demand degrees for cybersecurity, program development, and project management. You can also become a leader in healthcare with degrees in advanced allied health, biomedical sciences, and medical imaging.
My overall experience at Eastern Florida was absolutely wonderful. From the initial academic advisors to the financial aid department to the instructors, all of the staff at Eastern Florida State College really help you accomplish your goals, not just academically, but also professionally.
All of Eastern Florida's programs are created for fields where job growth is strong, providing you excellent employment opportunities after graduation. You'll benefit from personalized instruction and small class sizes, and work with advisors on a customized plan of study. That includes online classes, with many bachelor's degree courses just a click away, and some bachelor degrees available entirely online. Whether you're just starting college or a working adult returning to pursue a new career, getting a bachelor's degree has never been easier. Eastern Florida's programs are affordable and offer flexible scheduling that allows you to stay close to home, making now the perfect time to enroll. A bright future awaits you with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. To learn more, visit easternflorida.edu/go/bachelors.
I'm attending Eastern Florida State College and I'm enrolled in the aviation maintenance program. We do a lot of hands-on here. What you learn in class is probably like 25% of what you actually learn. You don't just talk about it, you're actually doing the work and breaking it down, and the instructors here really know how to get to what we really should be learning and what's actually in the field. I'd like to stay in this area and do general aviation for a little while and then eventually move into the airlines.
Night descending in Melbourne. We are at the half here at the Titan Soccer Complex, and 2-1 in favor of Eastern Florida. They had to come from behind to do that as they conceded in the first 5 minutes, Eddie, but they came to life. Sometimes you just have a slow start and have to get a little kick in the pants, and the subs, as you said, for Jeff Carr really made the difference.
No, absolutely. It is definitely the type of game we expected. Daytona State started very strong, and they were able to score in the first 5 minutes, and then Jeff Carr did a couple of brilliant moves defensively. 2 fullbacks out, 2 new ones in. He took care of that defensively, then went at the attack, and they pretty much got the better half. A couple of chances, this game could have been 3-1.
There's the view. So we look at some of the highlights of this top 10 national matchup. And here was the 4th minute. Unable to make the save is Krebser did it.
Yeah, Michaela Krebser gets the ball out wide all by herself, takes a touch. Keeper doesn't come out, and she's able to bury the ball to the back of the net to make it 1-0.
Chemley came on as a substitute then in the 21st minute. How about that strike in the upper 90?
Absolutely brilliant shot to the far post. Keeper doesn't even move. That's a nice of a shot that was. And best part about it, as you mentioned, she had just come off the bench. First ball she touched.
Well, the easiest goal she'll ever score came up with about 7 minutes to play in the half.
Da Silva with a great touch for Garriga, who doesn't quite strike the ball the right way.
That came off of this corner here.
And Lockwood with a driven ball to the far post. Supan gets up, climbs the ladder, gets a touch. And Chemali does the rest for the 2-1.
Clean up on aisle 17 for Chemali, her second goal of the match, and her 4th, make that 5th now of the season.
You see Sarah Chemali's movement, just gets a bit of a touch. And how about this? Da Silva gets 1 on 3. Oh, this is the one she plays
to
the far post.
And back the other way, Eddie.
Supan defensively with a great defensive tackle right here. She wins the ball, all ball. This is the one to Da Silva that brings the ball down with her chest, takes one player on, gets around her, and look at that number 5 in the back, the defender that she steps in. Actually, see that contact right there? That's why I think it should be a penalty kick. You see Da Silva going down. That's actually Olivia Thomas, number 3. for Daytona State.
Again, of course, we've got the advantage of the fine pictures being shown by our crew here at WEFS TV. So glad to have you along. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined by Eddie Rodriguez. I'd like to take this time to remind you of a huge event coming to the Eastern Florida State College campus. It's going to be over at the Titan Fieldhouse, as Eastern Florida State College will host the Paradise Jam here in 2017. It's a women's basketball holiday tournament that's normally played in the Virgin Islands. Due to Hurricane Irma, the devastation there through the Caribbean, it got moved here. You see the games. You'll have the 4 teams, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Drexel, and Butler, play over 3 days. A little round-robin edition, so some high-end Division I women's basketball action right here. Make sure you visit the Titan Fieldhouse on those dates and take part. Boy, another big moment for the Titans athletic program to host such a high-profile event. And look at the crowd here tonight, taking advantage of free admission that you always get. And when you have a big show and it's advertised and you know you got 2 of the top 10 teams, not just the state, but in the nation, you're going to have people come out.
No, you're right. The quality in the field speaks for itself, and that's when you have a lot of people coming in. Of course, Daytona, another school who's doing things the right way. So it's a great match. People knew it was going to be a great match, and that's where they came out to see them. You see great crowds, and even some of the Daytona students are in the house.
Titans on a 4-game win streak, looking to extend it to 5 as we will head into the night. 45 down, 45 to go. The Titans lead it 2-1 over the Falcons. Second half when we come back on WEFS.
Currently, I'm enrolled at Eastern Florida State College in the AMT program, that's Aircraft Maintenance Technology, and it's a program that just started. I'm a member of the first class here at Eastern Florida. Everything we do here is FAA approved. When you're finished with this program, you will be able to receive your AMP as long as you pass all of the FAA written tests. All of the instructors here are A&Ps. They have that background. Some of them have military backgrounds, some of them have teaching backgrounds already. My instructor, for example, Hampton, he was in the Army. When he got out of the Army, he took A&P school, got his A&P, and he's been working in the industry ever since. Most of the other A&P schools are just book work. And we actually have the cool equipment. We've got the planes, we've got the engines to work on and get that experience that you can't really get anywhere else. My biggest interest after graduating here is going to be aerospace. Those aerospace facilities like SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, GE, those are probably my top 3.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Great careers in aviation are taking flight at Eastern Florida State College with the Aviation Maintenance Technician program at the Orlando Melbourne International Airport. The program is designed to provide highly skilled workers to companies such as Embraer, AAR, Northrop Grumman, and others that are fueling the airport's expanding commercial aviation sector. Graduates will also have job opportunities at Kennedy Space Center, as their skills are transferable to the commercial space industry. Companies such as SpaceX, Boeing, and Blue Origin are developing new spacecraft to carry astronauts to the International Space Station and beyond on missions that could begin as early as 2018. The FAA-approved program is housed at Eastern Florida's new Aviation Center. The center includes classrooms for lecture classes and a fully equipped hangar where students get hands-on training with multiple aircraft, a machine shop, testing equipment, and composite station.
Most of the other A&P schools are just book work. And we actually have the cool equipment. We've got the planes, We've got the engines to work on and get that experience that you can't really get anywhere else.
I've dedicated my world not only to the Air Force, but now to the civilian sector. And I hope that the people that come here understand the importance and the need that we have for aircraft maintainers.
The program consists of 2 certificates, the Aviation Airframe Mechanics PSAV and the Aviation Power Plant Mechanics PSAV. Students learn aircraft maintenance theory, diagnostic procedures, and FAA-approved methods for inspecting, servicing, and repairing aircraft and their systems. They're also taught how to use aviation industry standard tooling and equipment to perform work on actual aircraft. Graduates are qualified to take the Federal Aviation Administration exam that can lead to jobs in aircraft maintenance, repair, and refurbishment that average $55,200 annually. So don't miss your opportunity to be a part of the exciting and growing field of aviation maintenance. Visit our website for information on how to apply.
Join local sportscaster Eric Kohler as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titans men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday night at 8 here on WEFS.
Set for the second half. Titans and Falcons back on the field. It'll be Eastern Florida kickoff. Going left to right here as we welcome you back to coverage here on WEFS. Jeff Radcliffe, Eddie Rodriguez, and our entire crew. Glad to have you along for this key matchup in Region 8. We're back on in Melbourne. And I think something we were talking about in the commercial break, Eddie, is that one thing you notice about Daytona, they came out like gangbusters, scored that opening goal. They had all the energy for the first 15, 20 minutes, a lot of pressure being put on, and then they conceded 2. And is that maybe losing some of that little edge, some of that energy that they had to expend to get that early lead?
Well, that's a great point you bring up, because that's one of the downfalls of playing high pressure. That when you got a high pressure, you got to spend more energy, and if you're not able to keep that pressure and get something out of it, by the time you're not able to keep that intensity, then you're giving up something. And the changes that Jeff Carr made in the first half, the first 2 fullbacks, he took care of the pressure. Then they went at the attack, but they were able to keep the ball in transition. And before you know it, Daytona wasn't able to keep the pressure, and now they were forced to play defense for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The
back line, Eddie, the back line of the Falcons didn't touch the ball the first 20 minutes of the game. It was exclusively attacking half of Daytona State.
Yeah, well, just think of it. In the first, 10 minutes, Heather Nulty touched the ball 3-4 times. In the last 20, I don't think she touched the ball once.
Yeah, they were off and running. Now again, the back line under pressure. Good news is Brittany Green back out there for the Falcons, so that's good.
Once again, see, that's what happens. Natalie Da Silva running all the way here to put pressure, and that pressure paid off once again. Oh yeah, Krebster loses the ball. Now Gomez. And if you notice, now Da Silva's playing on the right. She was playing on the left, and now she switched with Chamali, who's playing on the left mid, and now Da Silva's playing on the right. So another tactical change without changing players, giving you a little bit of a different look. So now Da Silva, rather than take the touch to the inside and cross it, she's going to try to get down to the end line and then give you some whipping crosses to the far post.
There's the keeper, Christian Shores, again coming in, just 3 goals conceded the entire year and 2 here tonight. Key game, because this will level them atop Region 8 should this scoreline hold. It was a 2-1 defeat for Eastern Florida earlier, and there's a foul. And it'll be a free kick for Eastern Florida.
Great spot right here for Da Silva. We've seen her score from here. And give credit once again to Clesha Daru. She gets a body on the defender right here. Tyler Eisman, and then there's the foul. There's the contact. Da Silva on the ball. She's got the great in-swinger. We've seen her take this to the far post twice this season. And I guarantee you that's what she's thinking of. I've been here. I've done it before.
Studying in, we'll send it to the far post and just a little bit of air underneath it. And it'll yield the goal kick for the 7th-ranked team in the country, Daytona State. They trail here 2-1.
Good effort. This is a great angle right here. But look at the goalkeeper doing a great job. Shores taking care of that far post, because I guarantee you she's seen that already. So when you're Da Silva, you got to recognize where the goalkeeper is. You got to bend the ball to the near post because the goalkeeper wasn't there.
Talked to Jeff Carr prior to the game. He felt that Shores one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the country. Said if she would have my vote for All-American, she has been tremendous all year.
And right now, you know, the goals were not her fault, but right now she made that great save on Daru.
Point blank, yeah.
You go 3-1, and that could be the difference in this game. You go from a 2-1 to a 3-1, and that's a bigger margin to try to close in the second half.
Trying to get around the edge. Job by Dees to stay with her. And now we'll go in behind harmlessly. No, a corner kick. It took a deflection. So causing problems, Sinead Hopcroft. And now it will be a set piece on the other side.
Yeah, great tackle by Megan Dees. It's actually a corner kick. Hopcroft. And she's so dangerous on the ball. See how quick she is.
Aylesbury, England. Hopcroft will let it fly. Toward the back post. This could be trouble. And it was headed down, but immediately smothered and covered by Sarah Diner.
Yeah, nobody there defensively for Eastern Florida. Kyla Armstrong gets a foot on it.
Daru keeps it alive for Da Silva, trying to get it in behind. Out quickly. Christian Shores read it well because Ebony Wiseman was charging up middle of the field.
That's an outstanding effort by Da Silva. You see how precise she was, just a little bit off, and the defender gets ahead on that. But if not, Wiseman, look at that. A little bit off right there. Great job by Olivia Thompson, just get her head on it because Ebony Wiseman was making a great run. She would have been by herself one-on-one with the keeper.
Hopcroft. Now Armstrong. Long ball served into the area to Diner. Covers once more. We'll hold things up. Wait for everybody to get into their proper position. And boot it away, so no playing out of the back this time. Lockwood nicely brought down on the outside of the boot over to the other side of the field. Chemily leaving it to Wiseman, trying to get a turn. Good job shielding the ball. Roll into space, turned over. Past everybody. Not sufficient quality on the pass. Gomez will look to retreat.
Yeah, that's Megan Warner trying to play the through ball to Alexis Vasquez. The ball was behind.
Oh, another mistake and a throw, and you can hear the pro Eastern Florida crowd egg it on.
Well, and you can hear the call from one of the fullbacks saying pressure, pressure, and that's what you want to do if you're Eastern Florida. Keep them in the corner as we start to hear the student section here from Eastern Florida. And I'll tell you what, as a player, Jeff, that gets you going. If you're starting to get tired, you're going to push a little more, push the lines, and you want to get that third goal early in the second half.
Having a good time tonight.
Well, after all, you got to get that home field advantage.
Good job coming back to defend now. Gomez. Just maybe get under the skin of the visitors a bit too. Diner's way off her line. Flicked forward. Daru will give chase here. This may not be an easy play. As Green cannot keep it in. So
That's
the pressure causing
absolutely
problems.
You can see Weissman right there. Actually, that was Green in the back.
And this is Eastern Florida picking their spots to pressure. It's not all out blitz.
Well, the key is when the first one to go, in this case, was Daru. When she goes, everybody leaves your player and step in front of them. So you got to continue the pressure. You cannot have only one player pressure because then it's so easy for Daytona to get out. Once again, the students getting really, really loud now, which is what you want to.
I love it.
You
Corner
want that
kick.
type of atmosphere for the players here. It's just.
Oh, what an atmosphere being created here tonight.
Lakewood just climbing on her back. Kyla Armstrong on the ball, long driven ball into the corner.
They're met by D's. Lockwood will settle. Saw De Silva. Oh, how about the skips there from the Brazilian. Trying to get it in behind a Lockwood making the run. Green on the ball. And a late challenge coming in now. They will stop the clock.
Absolutely, that's got to be a car. That's a reckless tackle right there from Green.
Wiseman, the player, down, and she needs some assistance. Ay, ay, ay.
And once again, if you see Brittany Green just leave her feet on that tackle right there, and the problem is she's late to the ball right here. Look, she's a little bit late. She goes through, and she gets none of the ball, all of the player. That definitely has to be a card.
Green sees yellow.
She could be lucky that wasn't a straight red. Great job by the referee. He was close enough. The best trainer in Region 8, Amanda Lawley, taking care of Weissman.
Green was down in the first half, had to go out with a minor injury. Now she's off again, this time for a foul and a yellow card. So Christina Garriga waiting to check in, next opportunity. And the bigger concern is for Ebony Wiseman. Had her 9th assist of the season earlier.
When it's her left ankle, you can tell on that tackle when Green comes through that tackle right there, just she left her feet.
This could be something to worry about going forward as Eastern Florida will finish up the regular season Friday at ASA. Team they beat 17-0 last week. But beyond that, then the games really count as you get into the Region 8 tournament in November.
Well, and if you remember the last game last year when they got knocked out, Darian Davis had very few minutes because she had a really bad ankle sprain.
That
and
was
that
happened
definitely hurt.
earlier, yeah.
That definitely hurt Eastern Florida as they were making, a run to the national championship.
And looking to make the national tournament once more. Which will be hosted here once again. National tournament for the 7th straight year will be here in Melbourne. And the Titans looking to make it back. Looking for a 7th conference championship this year. And that elusive national title. The 2017 goal before the season was quote unquote 7+1. 7th Region 8 crown, as Lockwood will send in the set piece.
A little bit short of a ball by Lockwood. That ball needs to be driven to the penalty spot or even a little bit further.
Garriga will earn the throw. No, did not go all the way out. 35 minutes and change to play. Suppan. Lockwood, nicely brought down by Gomez, keeping it going. Felicia Daru creating havoc. Top of the D, will shoot and just skim it by the post. It was that close to being 3-1.
Just like that, Daru barely misses. Great turn though, and even better ball by Gomez right here. Plays the ball behind, and this is where you want to isolate Daru. 1-on-1. She does a great job getting the ball. Great turn. Takes a left-footed shot, and just like that, barely misses the far post against the goalkeeper Shores, who didn't come out at all. She stood her line, and she almost paid the price for it.
Great individual effort, though, by Clecia Daru, the freshman out of London. 10 goals so far this season. Big things expected from Jeff Carr, from her, this year and going forward. Showing the quality there. It's a throw from Gomez. Chucks it. It's going to be a throw back to the Falcons. The crowd was going to explode had that went into the net.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that goal to erupt, explode.
And you love that the crowd response to how important this game is. Shemily in there breaking stuff up. Immediately turned over. Challenge, letting them play. Suppan got a good crunch in there.
Once again, great tackle by Suppan because she gets all ball. You know, the best thing Jeff Carr has done in the second half is he keeps going forward. He keeps putting pressure. You and I talked about what would happen if you sit back, as you see Da Silva 3-on-1.
Silva touches it to Daru. Inside the 18, trying to lay it back, and it'll be cleaned up. Not out.
The technical and tactical alternative what Jeff Carr is doing is just sit back with that 2-1 lead, but he knows that most of the time when you sit back, things don't go well for you. So, as they said, the best defense is an offense going forward, and he's done that. He keeps going forward, keeps putting good pressure on Daytona State.
Lockwood, the leading scorer so far this season with 12 goals. Wasn't able to test
once
Shores
again,
that time.
Da Silva going through the middle, plays a great ball to Daru, who actually wanted to return the favor. Great job by Olivia Thomas, who got a foot on that.
Back to Shores. Or Smyrna Beach Shark. Carroll saw it go all the way out. Now, we talked about the Daytona State energy early in that first half. Now you can see a lot of energy being expended by Eastern Florida to put the pressure on. We'll see where this leads going forward.
And you mentioned, Jeff, earlier the deep roster for Daytona State. A lot of the times this is when it can come in handy because you can bring girls off the bench who are going to be able to continue and keep that same energy and that same intensity. And at some point, if Eastern Florida is not able to match that, they're going to be in trouble defensively.
Yield a throw. Quickly taken by Beck. Suppan one-on-one defending. Throw in.
Great job by Suppan. Heather Notley hasn't been able to do anything offensively today. Not even one shot on goal.
Got free a couple of times in the first couple of minutes. I have bracketed her out of the game thus far, but you know how strikers are, right? 89 minutes, nothing, and then the moment of brilliance at the end.
Let's not say that because all she needs is one. There's a reason why she's got 9 goals and 2 assists. She's no stranger to scoring goals. So
there are a lot of number 9s in the professional game, men's and women's, who have had that reputation. They don't show up, but boy, you show up for a goal every game, you're going to be making lots of money.
Absolutely. You don't show up for 85 games, but I mean 85 minutes, and all of a sudden 1 goal, and that's it. You're the hero.
Speaking of number 9s, here comes Ebony Wiseman. So good to see the Englishwoman back out. Went to college in Barcelona before coming here. Crafty and quick Ebony Wiseman. Busy night for Olivia Thomas, just down the road at Port St. Lucie Treasure Coast High School. She and Brittany Green weren't really tested early going, but last 30 or 40 minutes of game time have been another story.
Good chance for Eastern Florida here in the corner kick. This one you want to get numbers up. You see Supan going up, Gomez going in to the middle, and of course Lockwood to do the honors.
Under a half hour to go. Some insurance we looked for as the corners played short. Back out to Lockwood as they move the shooting point, and took a deflection, it appeared. It did, so we'll do the corner kick again.
That was a quick set piece in the corner. Wiseman came in for the short corner kick, played it back to Lockwood. And she was trying to get the cross off. She got bumped a little.
Well, a lot of you hear fans, they always hate the short corner, Eddie. That's like, oh, why you're giving up a chance. Explain why would you do that?
Well, now you got a lot of the times you do that just to get the defense out. So that's why you play it short. You force the defense to get out, and now you can dump the ball. As you see him right now, it's too crowded in the box. Everybody's standing there, too many legs, too many heads. So if you can get
a couple people
Daytona,
to clear out,
absolutely,
your numbers are better.
It's
on a high arcing ball, not necessarily driven, but right on frame. Shores had it covered.
Once again, Lockwood does so well with a corner. It's driven ball to the far post. Now it's Gomez. Makes contact with the ball, and he ricochets for one of the defenders from Daytona State. Not a lot of power. Gets back to the goalkeeper, and she takes care of it, no problem.
High bounce. Eventually hit the foot of Garriga. Spaniard, oh, the touch there from De Silva was sublime. Trying to split two defenders. She's been good tonight. Love to pay it off with the goal here.
Another one of those players that you cannot leave her alone for a couple of minutes, because all she needs is one chance to convert. You see how hard she's been trying. She's played a couple of great balls early in this game to Garriga.
Supan back to her countrywoman Deinert. Garriga will keep it going. Daru on the left foot. Good defending. Really well done. Heinzman, I believe. Sent into the mixer to De Silva, trying to turn on it, getting a shot away. Save made by Shores. Boy, what a ball. And an even better save there as Garriga came to follow.
Well, maybe that's why she's one of the top goalkeepers in the country. Great effort by De Silva.
That was in
great turn. And I tell you what, any other goalkeeper that would have been in the back of the net. You see the ball gets played to Weissman. Great ball right here. Even better turn by Da Silva. Scoops the ball to the far post. Oh. And look at that, a full extension right there by Shores.
And she still had work to do. That close to being 3-1. As Brittany Jones, arms crossed. As her team starting to run out of ideas. Coming to stopping the Titans here as of late. Putting pressure on.
And right now she's thankful to have that goalkeeper in the back.
Supan to Carroll, former Mel High player. Comes back to Daytona State. All he needs is a little spell of some good fortune here. One goal game, you can always get back in it. You always feel you have a shout. All it takes is an off chance. Megan Dees. Big fan of Allie Krieger. Played with the Orlando Pride this NWSL season. U.S. national team stalwart. stop play.
Here's a different angle. Wiseman plays a great ball. Look at this turn right here. Between her legs, great turn. And just when you think she's not going to get to the ball, she manages to get a shot off. And how about that dive right there from Shores?
Sure, the stoppage is about. Now we'll restart. Throw Eastern Florida. And Nolte able to at least win the throw-in. Hopcroft. The ankle cut off one way. Boy, Daru trying to keep it, had to go low. Wise. Gomez saw it the whole way. And behind is De Silva. Nope. Read well by Shores, came off her line quickly, recognized the danger.
Yeah, Da Silva was making a run from the weak side, trying to make that diagonal run, getting to the end of that ball. But once again, Shores doing a great job just staying on her feet, coming up to the top of the 18 to get the ball.
Gomez with another win. Armstrong circling back. Have the ball here. Diagonal, missed the target once more.
Da Silva could have sprung. Daru was open one-on-one on top.
Maya Krebser and that Da Silva one-on-one. And 24 minutes, enjoying listening to the crowd.
No, they're doing, yeah, they're doing an excellent job just keeping this Eastern Florida team engaged.
Providing a soundtrack to soccer here in Melbourne. We have mics placed strategically all over the field in the facility to bring you the sounds.
Yeah, so we can pick up that sound loud and clear.
Nolte can't break free. Jonathan Quinter will allow the substitution. So a double switch. Daytona State. Back on is the goal scorer, Michaela Krebser. Don't want to keep her off the field. She's shown a lot of pace. Bradenton, she and her sister. This ball, Lockwood picks it up. Ducks and dives, moves in. Armstrong went in to take it and moved right around her. Da Silva can't catch it.
Once again, Da Silva with a little flair, the little Brazilian flick right there. That's just the way she plays the game, just always with a little bit of that flair.
Lockwood pressing the issue on a highly technical Kayla Armstrong. And again, a turnover is the result. Da Silva really feeling things now. As soon as I say that, the commentator curse strikes Brittany Green, step two.
Well, she was trying to play that ball with the outside of her left foot.
Numbers coming back, and we'll put it on frame. Might have been better to serve that across, but it'll be a goal kick for Eastern Florida.
No, you're right. She had a player wide open in the box. If she crosses that ball, it's all over for Eastern Florida.
Easier said than done when you're at speed, though.
Oh, absolutely. And you see this long ball right here. And look at that run into the box. She played that ball across. She's by herself. Of course, from this angle, she could have been offsides.
There were 3 defenders in between. Suppan will let it fly. Center of the park. And the flag stays down. Chucking. Da Silva can't keep it in. She's going to need her Wheaties tomorrow to replenish. Deep throw for Daytona State. Time becoming a factor now.
This is when you want to keep them in there and keep pressure. If you're Eastern Florida, don't let them come out with the ball under control. Just keep applying the pressure. One of those will give you one, and that's one you're going to bury it and put it away so you can finish this game.
The ultimate pressure, Eddie. Score
Absolutely.
in insurance school.
There's nothing like a little pressure.
Makes diamonds, right?
Absolutely.
State working that outside edge. Ball is through, but nobody there to run on. I think we said it before, the Falcons, after that opening spell, opening 20 minutes, have run out of fuel just a little bit as far as chasing the ball down. Jeff Carr watching with great interest. This is a big moment for his program tonight. Certainly saw some adversity and still some to see out, you'd have to think. They've never lost on this field at home in the regular season. National tournament, there have been a couple of setbacks. Wiseman again sitting on a hat trick. It was Chemley.
Great ball by Wiseman, though, who played the ball out wide. Chemley not able to convert. She hit the ball right at the goalie, and here comes the counter.
Now the other way, it's wide open, and couldn't get it off her foot. Beck before Diner could come out to get it.
I'll tell you, it's a battle of the goalkeepers now. Chemley on the other side. When you look at the 2 benches, you can compare the roster size. Eastern Florida having maybe 8 or 9 players, and when you look at Daytona State, you got to have at least 15.
11, yeah.
Absolutely, a whole change of 11, if you would.
Left to Krebser. Cross is halfway. Quickly held up by Vasquez. On the outside edge, Michaela Krebser. Seemed like forever ago when she scored that opening salvo in the 4th minute.
Great shot by Gomez.
End-to-end action here, Eddie.
And here, as you see, Garriga going forward. Weissman gets through. Chemley with a great chance right here. Now, instead of scoring, goalkeeper gets the ball. There's another great view right there of player going into space.
Thought about it too much.
And, of course, he gave it to the goalkeeper.
A deep throw for Eastern Florida. No hurry to take. Carroll, I keep it alive, able to do so that time. Wiseman, job the 2 combatants from England going head to head in the center of the park. She and Hopcroft. Carroll, boy, dangerous challenge from behind there. Nothing comes of it.
That is a dangerous, foul from behind. And the problem with those, Jeff, that if you don't call them earlier, things would just escalate before you know it.
Singing a na-na-na song of 17 minutes, that's confidence.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not wanting to hear that at all.
Not a 2-1,
Florida,
no.
no.
And not with still 17 minutes in this half. You and I have seen
so many times where
things.
you pay for that.
If you want to do it at the last 5 minutes, then I'll give it to you. But right now, there's still a lot of soccer to be played. And Brittany Jones knows that. She's somebody who's been around the block a few times when it comes down to the coaching world and the college game as well. Do not count Daytona State out. All they need is a good chance. On the other hand, Eastern Florida doing a good job just keeping possession and continue
margin.
to go forward. Which is the best thing they've done. Look at this.
Oh. Foul before the release of the pass. Free kick.
That should
Silva
be a
thought she
card
might have
as
been
well.
in.
Definitely should be a card for a late tackle. There's the yellow.
Off she goes.
Stop the clock! Stop the clock!
So Megan Warner, as you hear, stop the clock.
Garriga you see on the ball. Cristina gets the ball. Actually, that's from Chamali, who plays the ball in forward. Yeah, Garriga gets the ball. She plays that through ball, and look at that. Oh, she definitely stepped on her ankle.
But do you let this play on?
You do, because it's a breakaway.
Pull back later, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you saw the frustration being shown by Nat De Silva. DeRue will advance forward. Long ball out. Lockwood can get it there, though. Some sort of a glancing header.
Yeah, no, that's an easy ball for her to deliver. All you got to do is get under it and drive the ball. You want to drive the ball with a purpose. The more you hang the ball up in the air, it's easier for the defender to win it. That's why you want a nice driven ball where if you're a forward, you can get to it, step in front of your defender, get to it, and get a decent head on goal.
Get the laces into it. Boy, she drives it. And how over everything.
Well, she was looking to go direct, a little more, a little tough to go direct from there because the keeper will have enough time to react and get to the ball.
Sure.
Not that you shouldn't shoot from there, but you know, just know that the goalkeeper, if you look at the percentages, anything outside of 25 is going to be easier for them to
unless the keeper's
adjust.
out, you're off the
Right.
line. Yeah. Final 16 minutes. More fireworks left in this one. All the goals happening in the first half. Nothing to speak of yet, although end-to-end action at times. A lot more possession being won by the Titans here in the second half. Hopcroft. Krebser. Armstrong. Got by. Chemley was there just to put it out, let everybody regroup.
It's good pressure by Eastern Florida, not let the midfielders take time and you know, to look up and pinpoint that pass. So it's a lot different, Jeff, when you have to rush your pass and now you're just kicking it to see what happens.
DeRue with the numbers coming back. Green is one of them. Tripped her up, and nothing comes of that either.
Wow. Absolutely contact once again. DeRue goes down inside the box.
Question is, how easy did she go down?
We'll see in the replay here. They played a great ball into the space. DeRue turns on the Jets. Has a great touch towards the box. Oh, there's definitely contact there. If you don't want to call a foul, at least you can call it obstruction.
Take you back to the earlier decision with De Silva right at the edge of the area in the first half. As time was winding down.
I think the fear
that
the referee has now is that
don't change it, give the game.
Right.
Yeah.
If you call that PK and changes the game.
It's got to be obvious. Trying to clip the keeper. Now there's contact with the keeper. The second ball goes just over the top. Now there's something to sort out. We'll stop the clock with 14-12 as DeRue and Shores had a nasty collision.
Yeah, DeRue went on a breakaway. The goalkeeper Shorts came out and she was late. And Sarah Chamali had the chance of a lifetime to make it 3 on her personal account. And 3-1 for Eastern Florida. That's just a tap in that she puts over. Da Silva playing a great through ball. Look at DeRue, gets at the end of that. Keeper comes out and see, that's the problem. She's fully extended and the goalkeeper made contact.
She got the ball first. And in some obvious pain, Kristen Shores. Titans continuing to do battle here. And checking both players, so that was a big time collision. Give them their time to get up. Clock is stopped, 14-12. Boy, it was a very brave attempt there by DeRue.
Yeah.
And really even braver challenge by Shores, the keeper, with Daru with a full head of steam. Oh, we got cue cards here. Mr. Hancock helping out. Head cheerleader.
Head cheerleader at that.
Well, this is of concern for each side. Daru has been unleashed here in the second half and has caused all sorts of problems. And Kristen Shores has made 2, maybe 3 big saves to keep her team in it.
Oh, she's been huge in the bag, because a couple of those where Eastern Florida puts the third, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Instead, she's had a couple of great saves, and now Daytona State still with a chance to score a goal here.
Okay, so Kristen Shores back up. Daru being checked out by Teresa Brantley Moon. Backup keeper is Jenna Tillman out of Winter Park High School. She's seen action in 4 games. Right now, it looks like Shores will continue. More concern for Daru. You talked about injuries to forwards last year with Darian Davis right near the end of the season that might have cost the Titans a national title.
Yeah, if she would have been 100%, I think their efforts could have been a little bit better. And she was only able to play 10, 15 minutes per half. Then she tried to give you everything, because she's not one of those kids who cries. But I tell you, she couldn't even run. I saw her ankle after she took the tape off, and it was just humongous.
What's concerning here is that she got the leg out to get a shot on attempt, and you left it exposed.
But see, look at her planting foot. Her right foot right there is just completely.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she just gets taken out, basically. Well, Jeff, you know it's not good when they bring the card.
We wish the best for Clecia from Barking Abbey School in London. Made her 8th start of the season here tonight. Getting a big hand. She'll be checked out. Hopefully it's just precautionary. Big things expected here of Clecia. She's had a really, really good game where she's made an impact.
Oh, she has. She's been phenomenal, making those great runs to the attacking third and just unbalancing the whole entire defense from Daytona State. You can tell she's in a good amount of discomfort. We wish her the best.
Remember, she started the season as a wing player off the bench as she adjusted to the game here in the States, and that did not take her long. She scored a goal, I think, in our first broadcast coming off the bench, and it was time to get her some shouts inside that starting 11. Shores on the other end of that collision back up. And what happens here when you have a teammate, a fallen teammate here, and you've had a little bit of a lull, good delay of about 5 minutes, and you've had all the advantage this half, really.
No, you got to continue. You got to keep that intensity up, and whoever's number and whoever's gets goal at this chance, you got to come in. You got to come in swinging. Once again, Eastern Florida has to get that 3 before regulation. I say has to just because you don't want the tempo of the game changing. At 2-1, of course, they can sit here and win the game, but you never know what Daytona State's going to bring. So you got to keep chasing that 3rd goal.
Importance here too is also maybe goal differential as far as getting that top seed. Right now, it's even. These 2 teams would be even atop.
Well, just remember the first
2-1 game, the first matchup.
The first tiebreaker is going to be, head-to-head. That's why you want to win this game.
1-on-1. Yep.
And then if you take care of that, even if both teams are 1-1, then you go to the goal differential, goal average, as we call it as well.
Which is 0-0, would be at 0 between the 2. So even Steven. So a 3rd goal here will likely lock it up for you. Carroll continuing to run.
Good job by Gomez, just cutting the ball and plays the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Figure out maybe our friend Mike Parsons knows what the next tiebreaker is, because if this game does end 2-1, it's going to be a virtual tie.
Yeah, and that 2-1 result, you would take away the tiebreaker because they're 1-1. So you've lost to each other 1, and you beat each other 1. So
goals scored in conference, not sure. Suppan will clear it as the Eastern Florida State College Titans looking to regain the momentum they had before Keisha Giroux was off with an injury.
Yeah, they want to get their shape back here defensively first and foremost. Offensively, you want to get a hold of the ball at center mid. Continue to keep the ball. You can squeeze this clock all the way to the end. And then when it's on, just go direct, play the ball. We talked about the difference between playing direct and playing kickball. You can play direct with a great idea, and you saw Da Silva playing a great through ball to Garriga, and now it's a technical play that she saw her open, she played, and it almost worked for them.
Possess, possess, possess. And I think our producer, Brian Foster, at halftime posed a good question. What time is it good to, once you get that lead, to kind of park the bus and just see out the win? At what point in a match? Because now we're getting in close to 10 minutes to go.
I would say right about the 10-minute mark, you can afford to start playing a little
defensive,
and just kick the ball out of bounds and keep the lines. Just go side to side. When it's on, you go. When you have the space, but if they're crushing the space, you don't want to give a ball in transition because you want to get cute and get out of the back, play it out of the back with 5-6 minutes, and you give up the equalizer. So very smart. You got to do some time management. That's Jeff Carr's department, of course, and he's a guy who's been around the block as well, so he knows what to do and when to do it. And that's one thing about Jeff Carr. We never see him panic.
Gomez to Lockwood with some space to operate. And put it over the top, read well by Green.
Just a little bit off once again by Da Silva. Was trying to play the long ball.
Hopcroft, just a little bit slower pace here in recent minutes. Both sides have left it all out there. Can't fault the effort really for either side if you're either Jeff Carr or Brittany Jones.
But you would agree, Jeff, that this is the type of game we expected. I mean, two teams that are top in the region. And
top in the nation, top 10.
Yeah, top in the country, both. And, this is what you want out of your top 10 teams. Teams that go at it, that, whether it's tactically different, and that's your way of coaching, which is fine. But whatever you're doing, you got to support it, and you got to support it with the results as well. We said earlier, great effort by Jeff Carr adjusting the lines and adjusting the player personnel because it really paid dividends right away.
Under 10 to go. Throw in coming for Daytona State. As Giroux with the ice on the left knee. Staying here.
It's Lockwood down.
Can't afford to lose anybody else.
No, especially that player Lockwood who does so much, especially on the ball, free kicks, corner kicks. She's the one always, trying to find players, driving that ball.
She's your leading scorer. And has 9 assists. Entering the game is Rachel Van Meer. Freshman out of Sebastian, played at Bayside High School, also was the team's football kicker. So she'll relieve Katie Lockwood. So the second tiebreaker, as we're hearing from Mike Parsons, is goals scored 4.
And then goal
Maximum
against.
of 3 per game, though. So you don't get those.
Oh, you don't get
17-0 win over ASA doesn't count, but versus the region opponents. So we can tally that up, see where the lead is, because if it stays 2-1, that's where it's going to come down to as the second tiebreaker. If that's even, then it's goals scored against.
Goal differential between tied teams.
Yeah, head-to-heads first, and the goals scored. So yeah, goal differential is actually after.
After head-to-head, yeah.
Yeah, so it will come to goals scored 4 in region games. First tiebreaker, and then goals against region games, then goal differential between the tied teams. And we're going to put that into effect, I think, some of these tiebreakers, if this doesn't change the last 8:30. Each team will be
both teams running out of
have
time.
The same record in the league, or at least just 1 loss. Daytona will close with ASA at home, Polk State at home. Likely wins, and then at Broward, which would be a little more difficult to close the season.
Yeah, but even then, still likely wins for both teams. And
yeah, as Titans just will have to play ASA on the road, a team they beat 17-0 on Friday. That Eastern Florida does have the advantage on that goal scored 4 if you just look at common opponents and look at some of the score lines. Daytona's won a lot of their games close. Eastern Florida's been a little more impressive as far as goal margin.
Great job by Sarah Didner.
Next 7 minutes can change a lot, though.
Oh yeah, you know, either of these teams, as you know, they're both pretty good offenses, so all they would need is one clear chance, as you saw. And that was the case with DeRee on top, who's icing her quad right now.
Garriga will chase it down. Chemily.
And how about the one Chemily had, too, right on top of the box? That could have been the difference in this game. She was able to put that one.
There's Garriga, chips it into touch, took a deflection off of Daytona State. We've got a corner kick as we wind short in this one.
Great job by Olivia Thomas, because Garriga was seen as you see this great ball by Dees. And then Thomas loses the ball a little bit, just about. Garriga's about to take the shot. And Olivia Thomas recovers nicely to kick the ball out of bounds. Good chance once again, corner kick. And this is when you got to take advantage of the set pieces, Jeff. You and I talk about it all the time. The last 5 minutes. Set piece corner kick, make sure you get a great cross and some numbers in the box.
The line, 5 minutes. Can't keep it in. Eastern Florida could score again. It may be stock, lock, and barrel.
Great pressure by Destiny Del Luca, rather.
Garriga as well. In the middle of the park, big win by Lockwood, who had re-entered the game. Forward Garriga, a lot of kickball at the moment. Back and forth. Oh. Gonna be white ball. A vital challenge by De Silva. But Al will do another throw in.
Yeah,
both of these teams are running out of gas. You can see it.
Yeah, not a lot of subs after the first 13, 14 players coming in the game. It's been pretty much for both teams. And as you mentioned, Daytona State has a lot of the same players from last year, so they're playing again. The exception of one, I think, at the back, Cheyenne Beck. She was a starter last year.
It was virtually the same starting lineup from a year ago. Throw it again. And the more time this takes, the better it is for Eastern Florida. Well, what you can do after this contest, should it stay the same, you can check EFSCTitans.com and explain the situation going forward as far as tiebreakers and who will be the #1 seed for the tournament coming up at Polk State.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Juna Supan gets rid of the ball in the back. I don't know why the referee is calling for the clock to stop.
3.5 minutes.
I guess from now on the clock is kept by the referee in the middle as far as when the ball go out of bounds. And
one thing we do know is Eastern Florida wins Daytona State with 3 games to play. Titans with just the 1. They're going to want to run it up as best they can and win by 3 in each game to get themselves a chance at winning the tiebreak.
You saw that little flare by Da Silva.
What will it yield? A shot on the way, and we are level. Oh my.
Kyla Armstrong with a ripper, just a laser from outside the box. Makes contact with the ball. Just
hung there.
Eastern Florida not able to get rid of the ball. And Kyla Armstrong just finds the ball from about 30 out. And you're right, that changes absolutely everything.
Now Daytona will have the edge as the top seed because now they'll have a result in both. Now pressure on Eastern Florida to get back in front. Left for Da Silva. How much does she have left in the tank? Not enough to catch that one. Goal kick. Oh. That's going to hurt. So Kayla Armstrong, her 8th goal of the season.
And what a goal that was,
Came from nothing.
Just a rip. Once again, you see from the goalkeeper's angle how far it was and how close the goalkeeper was. She's not able to make contact with a left glove. You know, I've been talking about it. Teams like this, all they need is one good chance.
A couple of saves that Kristen Shores made. Put an asterisk next to those because that kept this game from moving to 3-1, which might have shut the door.
And that's when you and I talked about put away your chances. The chances that Eastern Florida had late in the first half. You put one of those away, the game's over, kind of. So you have a huge advantage.
Should be a corner. Yep. Only a
great chance right here for Eastern
minute
Florida.
and a half left.
Take your time, drive a good ball, and get some numbers in.
I got to see it out. Now, I'm sure there's going to be incredible disappointment, but they will play to the end. Remember, there's no ties, so. There's a guy who calls pro games for a living. That's always tough to remember in a college game. So now, really, everything up for it. Eastern Florida needs to pull it back, or we're going to have extra time. Oh, this game is as good as advertised, Eddie.
Absolutely, just the way we expected, just back and forth game. A duel of two very well coached programs and teams.
It's going to be a game of attrition here the rest of the way. 30 seconds from going to extra time.
Yeah, from now on, fitness is going to be a huge huge impact in this game.
Energy by Hopcroft. And running out of real estate. 15 seconds. We're going to have some bonus soccer here for you on WEFS.
10, 9,
momentum all on the side of the visitors.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we will go to extra time. 90 minutes, not enough to decide it. A late goal from Kayla Armstrong forces overtime. 2-2. We'll be right back on WEFS.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Join local sportscaster Eric Kohler as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titans men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday night at 8 here on WEFS.
Back in Melbourne, tied at 2, and here's what we've got ahead. 2 10-minute periods to tack on to the end of this. As we look at the highlights, it will be sudden victory / golden goal. Here's the first one. As they struck early, did the Falcons. Krebser in the 4th minute.
Michaela Krebser found a ball in the back post, wide open. Nobody from Eastern Florida.
Then the Titans turned it on. Chemily cut it back.
Come in the game, and how about this great ball to the far post, in-swinger, left-footed shot to make it 1-1 for Eastern Florida.
21st minute. Then Chemily again off the bench to finish up what Una Suppan starts.
Great ball by Lockwood. Suppan gets up, wins the header, and Chemily just does the rest. Little touch, cleaning up right in front of the goalkeeper. See, nobody picks her up right there, and she finds the ball. Little turn, she makes contact with the ball, and that's 2-1 for Eastern Florida.
Now, Kristen Shores keeping her team in it. She had to pick it out of the net that time.
This was a great chance right here. Daru wins the ball, quick little spin, takes a shot. Not too far from the target. This could have been the goal right here. Da Silva, great turn. What a save by Shores. Full extension. And 4 minutes from the game being done. How about this ripper right here?
What a look.
Kyla Armstrong goes direct, goes downtown. Great view right here. Goalkeeper not far off right here.
Dinard so close. Needed another inch. So that's what we've got. Golden goal. We arrived here by 2 goals for Daytona State, one at the very beginning of the game, one at the very end of regulation. Chemily with 2 in the first half, sandwiched in between. And now this is a test of wills, right? Because they've been out there for 90 minutes. They already started looking a little ragged, a little tired, both teams. And now what's the key to playing in this situation, dating back to your college days when you had to play extra time?
The key is to play smart, not give anything in the back, no easy goals in the back. Don't lose the ball in transition, and this is when you got to go back to the basics, the trapping and the passing. As we see the rowdy crowd right there, alumni from Eastern Florida trying to get this team going in overtime. And the key right here, Jeff, is when you have your chances, you got to put them away. Eastern Florida let a few of those go in the second half, late in the first half as well, and that could have been the difference in this game going to overtime or not.
Well, waiting for the clock to wind down. Switch the sides here. Apparently not on the side that they wanted, so it'll be Eastern Florida to attack the goal they attacked in the first half. We'll go from right to left. So a battle of attrition. A couple of players have come out of the game, notably Clecia DeRue, who left with an injury, and that's a big loss because that's somebody who can turn the game on ahead.
Oh yeah, she had a couple of chances, and just what she brings to the table as far as having the ability to go forward and keep the ball. Of course, she's got that great left foot. She almost converted in that great turn right on top of the box.
We resume at minute 91, first overtime. First of two, barring a goal in the overtime, which will end it immediately. Who has the energy to see it out? Wiseman couldn't keep it. This is what you train all those extra hours for, right?
Absolutely.
Eastern Florida on the move. Garriga will put it out. Maybe a throw. Is the pressure being put on here in the beginning of this first overtime by the Titans?
And as you know, this game could very well be decided in a corner kick and a free kick, anything outside the box as a set piece. And there lies the importance of taking your time when you have a chance right around the 18, right around the box. Take your time, put it on frame.
Chucked into the area. Falls to Silva. Eastern Florida will have it. Want to keep the pressure on. Either way, I think this is going to be a rematch of what we see in the playoffs and a final.
Yeah, anytime these two teams play against each other, because they do match up pretty well.
Chemley will chase. Steps, keeps it in. Straight back. Good work there by Sarah Chemley. Sophia Carroll pushed off the ball.
Yeah, Leslie Tapia with that shoulder contact right there.
Tapia, the freshman out of Fellsmere. Top of the area, sent to the back post, and not enough on it. It topped it a little bit. Looked like it was right on target, though.
Absolutely, from the angle that we have here. Thought it was going far post.
Got a little too much spin.
It's a good shot right here. Dees with a throw, and you can tell the way it comes back.
That looked a lot better off the foot than it did.
Sophia
Meantime,
Carroll with a left-footed shot. Yeah, trying to go cross court.
And Dees out for a throw. Eastern Florida deep in their own half. 3 minutes into this first overtime. Pile drived out. Oh, not again.
Way too early for those chants.
Oh, Titans is what they're saying, though. Still,
oh, okay.
the music itself, that particular refrain,
Sure
melody.
Yeah, usually
says
saying that when
something
you're
else.
taking it to them. When you have a clear enough lead.
Yeah, when it's done and dusted.
Yeah. Because at the end of that says goodbye, meaning, you know, go home. I'm glad someone's having fun.
Yeah, sounds like Beaker on the Muppet Shows out there. All the stars are out. So glad to have you along here, wherever you happen to be. Tuning in for a game with massive implications, not just in the region, but nationally as far as rankings go.
And this is when you see Daytona State making a couple of changes. This is when somebody who can step in from the bench could be the hero in this game. It's Sarah Chamali coming off the bench. You put 2 in the back of the net for Eastern Florida.
Yep.
Who's going to answer the call when your name gets brought up, your number?
I remind you that Eastern Florida has never lost on their home field in the regular season.
We got it.
We don't need to commentate. We just let the crowd take it. You know? Garriga couldn't get to it. Till the legs getting tired.
Yeah,
sometimes,
and this is
sometimes moment of brilliance is turned into just moments of
oh yeah,
wrong place, wrong time.
A matter of will and then whether you can run and get there physically. And I know mentally, as you know, when you get fatigued, then the mental aspect of the game goes, and then also the legs, and that's when you see mistakes like that.
You see just the failed touch.
Yeah, when you can't trap the ball and technique goes out the door, where normally you would be able to trap the ball and pass it along the ground, and you know things get just tougher and tougher. And right place, right time, you might find one of those on top of the box and convert and finish this game.
Kudos to the Falcons, who started strong, finished strong to force this overtime. Punch in the gut, goal with about 4 minutes left from Kayla Armstrong from distance. And Brittany Jones's team on the precipice of what would still be considered an upset, despite their ranking that is number 7 to Eastern Florida's 8. Still going to chase his D's and will put it out of play. Into the corner, and that's where it will be. So squeaky bum time for Titans fans.
Yeah, you have to be careful in giving up so many corners here, because I said earlier, all they need is one, and
especially with the delivery that Hopcroft can put on it. Put a little English on it in more ways than one. Great delivery to the far post. Falls inside. Got to clear it. And the shot on the way and skims over the top. We talked about the danger. Was an offside flag up? We've got a...
I think Gomez took one in the face.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's Eastern Florida was trying to clear the ball.
It is truly a battle of attrition.
See, great cross to the far post. Eastern Florida was having a tough time clearing it. You see that Lockwood just got a hold of that.
Your heart sank with that shot. You know his did. Now Gomez will be checked out.
Well, this is one of those where you can come right back. Just get to the corner flag and see Supon on the ball. Here's a different angle and you see that straight to her face.
Right, the Kisser.
Lockwood just was trying to clear the ball.
Oof. Well, 2 minutes to go here in this first overtime. Left and in. Boy, a lot of confidence being shown by Heather Nolte and company. Pushed down in the box. Not going to give that as a penalty if you hadn't seen the two earlier.
Absolutely.
And how big were those calls or
Absolutely.
non-calls?
At least he's keeping it consistent. If he's
Yes.
not gonna, if he didn't call those, he's certainly not gonna call this, especially in overtime, right?
That's shoulder barge. Good job by Carroll. All right, at the foot. Nolte was giving chase. What do we got here? Coming the other way.
Absolutely, you see the foul right there. You see that shoulder contact.
Well, stop the clock here with 1:27 to go, first overtime.
If you're stopping the clock, you better be giving her a yellow card.
Or that for a sub. No, subs don't come in on a stop clock.
No. He's gonna have a conversation with her. Of course, that's our goal scorer, Heather
Nolte explaining her case. Suppan will be backed up a little bit.
Give it 10, please. Give it 10. Keep moving. Keep back. Go. Go, 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 go. That's good.
Flicked by Garriga. Wants it more. Trying to get a player in behind. Off her line quickly is Sarah Diners. Nothing too troubling there. Bounces.
1 minute left in the
Garriga.
first overtime.
Lockwood. That's one way to stop her. Flicked forward. Now being chased back is Gianna Bly. Throw into Eastern Florida, about 35 seconds or so to do something with it. Hurry up the line. Throws in. Service on the way. This has potential. Chemily looking for the hat trick with the header. 15 seconds. Got to spin it quick. Wiseman. And 10 seconds may not be enough to do much with it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mike Parsons counts it down, and it'll be a second overtime.
Now this
No
overtime,
score.
you just go side, you switch sides. Really no time off for the players.
2-2. We'll be right back.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Join local sportscaster Eric Kohler as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titans men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday night at 8 here on WEFS.
Well, 100 minutes of soccer is yet to decide it. We'll do 10 more, barring a golden goal. Second extra time period set to start. So glad to have you along here on WEFS. Jeff Radcliffe, Eddie Rodriguez, and our entire crew. And should this, we'll take a quick look at the highlight here, and then we'll get into the ramifications here. As right before the whistle.
That's a great driven ball into the box right there. Garriga doesn't go for it, and of course 17, who's looking for her hat trick, Sarah Chamali, doesn't quite get to the ball. She would have liked to.
It's 2-2. Should it stay this way, it's a job done for Daytona State, because they will keep the top position in the conference with a result here, a draw.
I think if you're Jeff Carr at some point, you want to gamble a little bit and try to go for the win, because, you know, if you think about the second goal they had, it's not like they're creating many chances. It was kind of a great shot by Daytona State, but they're not putting pressure on you. You know, they're not going forward and constantly getting chances, so you might be able to get some subs and might be able to get a third forward with about 6-7 minutes left in this game and try to go for it.
I would say with a high level of confidence, this won't be the last time they face each other. So there could be a third and final chapter after tonight. Who will win chapter 2? That's what we need to find out in the next 9 minutes. Who will at least come away with the better position? Again, on the front foot they go, sending it all the way across. Daytona State coming to take more than just a draw. A little shove from behind. Gomez pushed out. It'll be Eastern Florida ball. Now, should this game, say we have a 2-2 tie in the tournament final, then it would go to penalties to decide. Krebser sends it across. Chimley got foot to it, able to release it. Remember, you don't have Clecia DeRue in her pace up top right now.
They're happy with playing the ball all the way back to their goalkeeper, Shores.
Shores will send that one long. Wiseman catches it. About 8 minutes to go. It's out of dodge, waiting for somebody to come back to the ball. Lockwood able to do so. You see the touch is just not quite as crisp. Garriga will hold it. Da Silva couldn't get to it. Good step 2 there by the Falcons. Maya Krebser. And now a player down in a heap in the middle of the field. We'll stop the clock at 7:35. Daytona State, player to be tended to.
And I think she landed kind of the wrong way on her shoulder.
Cramp, quite common when you play more than 90 minutes.
It's right around the time where you're just going to start cramping up. Dehydration sets in, and
it's been hot and humid in these parts for this time, relative to this time of the year here. Now, the 16th day of October. Usually we start seeing the snowbirds getting ready to make their pilgrimage down to these parts. It hasn't cooled off quite enough yet. And how about the game that Sinead Hopcroft has had so far? She was the one down on the play.
And you see when she reached for that ball right there, that's when
been there.
You can tell she starts cramping up, and if anybody who's had them, it's a very uncomfortable feeling, and you want to stretch right away. The problem with that is that once you are dehydrated, you can't just get drink and get better. It's
starting
to take a while, yeah.
So you'll see if it happens in other sports. A lot of times they'll go take an IV to help get the fluids in to prevent it.
Yeah, so more than likely she will not be back.
To deal with this, yeah. Lockwood let it fly. Boy, every 50-50 so crucial at this point, 7.5 minutes. Garriga, she have the pace to get there. Certainly not her forte. And that one sent out of the stadium with authority.
Well,
Olivia
that's what
Thomas.
Daytona State is going to try to do now. When you hit the ball, make sure it truly goes out of bounds so you can start killing the clock for them. As you mentioned, a 2-2 draw here is a victory because they're playing away and they're playing against a team who's pretty much, you know, have beaten them every time except for last time they played at Daytona.
Now 2 results
in 2
downpour.
games.
In that game, it was 16-5 Edgens shots to Eastern Florida. Kelsey Kiley, no longer with the program, got a red card late as well in that. Give kudos to Daytona State. They've come to play tonight. And there'll be a third chapter written no matter what happens tonight, but to win the conference they'll have to do it as the number 2 seed if you're Eastern Florida. Jeff Carr down to the final 6 minutes. We've seen Eastern Florida score some goals late in their history to pull out victories. Silva fronting things. Off the line, stayed in. How much can you chase here? They're gassed. Crowd trying to will them back in it. 5 minutes to go. Giving back. Tumbling. Under 5. Here's the goal scorer, Armstrong. Will she have it in her again? Supon. And what do we have here? We'll stop it at 4:30. Nope.
And it's the other Nolte with a grab. She actually,
Nolte, excuse me.
You can tell she grabbed Deeds from behind right here. As the ball gets played, watch her hands. Deeds gets in front of her and she pulls her right here, pulls that jersey with her left hand.
Sneaky. Got caught though. Supon. Well, these players have given it their all tonight. Oy. It's just nothing left. If you have any energy off the bench, what can you bring? Job to stand in front, De Silva. Held up. And Garriga taking exception to some of the play here.
This is all Eastern Florida might need right now. Right here, De Silva. We know she can go direct. Not a great angle for her to go direct, but a lot of times it's all you need in overtime. Just serve a good ball. Let Garriga do the rest.
Will have to beat a good keeper in Shores. It's on its way. And dealt with. Garriga back into the area. De Silva. Silva once more put it out. Goal kick. And you see the frustration from Natalie De Silva.
Just about 3 minutes left and both teams running out of fuel, running out of energy, and running out of chances as well.
And taking her time, Christian Shores. Headed. Want to collect. Tiffany Wiseman. Nope. Two and a half. Throw to Eastern Florida this time. If we're having somebody with a big throw would be advantageous.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Don't have it.
Use that as a set piece. And
Lockwood, numbers come out just to make sure. Now we'll waste some more time. Heads up play by Michaela Krebser. It's the throw from Gomez into the area, headed right back out. Can she get another service into the area?
you see how sloppy the touch is getting now by Gomez right there. She could have done better with that job.
Pegged in the back. Short time. Daytona State can do everything they can just to keep the ball here. As soon as I say that, they'll have the throw. Minute and a half. Maybe they can steal more than just the proverbial point. Tied 2-2. Here's Armstrong. From distance again. Went off target, luckily. Down to about a minute. Going to be a 2-2 draw, barring something miraculous. Carroll getting in the way. Teams are just spent. Seconds. Now you got to defend here. Flicked on. Header, it's in! Daytona State has taken the lead at the death. Are you kidding me? And Eastern Florida State 34 seconds away from losing on their home pitch for the first time in their history in the regular season.
Great ball played into the box, and once again, Kyla Armstrong using that big frame. Gets to the end of that, to the far post, and just like that, Daytona State is able to pull a huge victory here at Eastern Florida.
Armstrong with the brace, easily the player of the match now. It's a golden goal. And it is over, and you see the dejection here from Natalie Da Silva. And there are more games to play, but there will be no #1 seed this year, barring major upsets to Daytona State. They win it with 34 seconds to go. 5 goals in this one, the last one the game winner from Kayla Armstrong. And the opening salvo 4 minutes in. Sign of things to come is Krebser.
Michaela Krebser once again found the ball far post. Just in the first open minutes of this game was able to pull the 1-0 for Daytona. Jamali would just come off the bench with a great shot to the far post, making it 1-1 for Eastern Florida.
Lockwood late in that first half put Eastern Florida in front. Second goal for Chemily.
Supine doing a great job getting at the end of this to the far post. Little flick. Jamali making it 2-1. And 2 for her personal account as well.
Stayed that way till about 4 minutes left in the game. Kayla Armstrong out of nowhere.
It all happened because Eastern Florida wasn't able to clear the ball. She goes downtown. Armstrong making it 2-2 right with only 4 minutes left in the match here. Just to give a little bit of life to Daytona State, taking this to overtime.
And the golden goal with 30 seconds to go. The header from Kayla Armstrong. So goals 8 and 9 doing in the Titans here on their home field in extra time. So what this means is it will not virtually lock up, but put them in the ascendancy for sure. Daytona State now with 0 losses in conference, Eastern Florida 2. So Daytona State 3 to play, but likely the favored to win in the last 3 for sure. So number 1 seed likely going to the Daytona State Falcons as they make history, beating the Titans here at the Titan Soccer Complex. First loss in program histories. We'll send it downstairs to the head coach, and on a difficult night, Jeff Carr. Coach?
Yeah, Jeff, it was the first 2 goals, we made serious mistakes, to finish out the game. We were playing around with the ball on our end, and, they got possession of the ball, and they put it in. Kudos to them, and then they finished off in the second overtime. So they wanted a little more, and then we got a couple serious injuries, a concussion, and maybe a serious knee injury. So, the depth of our team has really been shattered in this game.
Yeah, Jeff, when you're 4 minutes away from winning this 2-1 and you're not able to clear the ball, and then, of course, Armstrong finds the back of the net from about 30 out, that changes everything. You're 4 minutes from walking away with a victory at home, and that just changes the whole game.
Well, absolutely, and you need to close out these games. I mean, you shouldn't be playing with the ball in our half. I mean, we weren't taking care of the ball. I mean, just get rid of it, if anything. But, we're juggling the ball in our half, and fair play to them. They got the ball, scored, and, and then finished us off in overtime.
There are points in seasons, Jeff, as you know, that can galvanize a team. Sometimes they're low points, and going forward, you should get another crack at these guys. And what can this team do, and what can you do to help make that possible?
Yeah, well, I think we just kind of look at it. Each individual has to kind of look at themselves and say, hey, what could I do better tonight? Taking care of the ball, just the simple things, movement off the ball. And look at the chances we missed, too. I mean, we missed some sitters tonight, and, we made it hard on ourselves by not finishing in regulation. So, and that was the same thing that happened up at Daytona too. We couldn't finish. So, and then we have maybe one serious injury that she may be done for the season. So that's going to crush us because he's our leading goal scorer up top.
Clecia Daru,
Yeah.
obviously dejected too. Well, Jeff,
Yeah.
Best of luck here the rest of the way out. I know it's a very difficult night, difficult circumstances, but going forward, still plenty to play for.
All right, thanks,
Best of luck,
Jeff and
Coach.
Eddie. All right, bye.
And he brings
Thanks
a
so much,
great
Jeff.
point before we get to the second goal by Daytona State. Definitely Eastern Florida left a couple of chances, just as he said, open netters that if you look at Shamali pushed that away when it's an open net because keeper came out, and a couple of other ones that could have been the difference in this game. You go to up 3-1, pretty much game's over. Instead, you miss those. You leave, playing, as you mentioned, playing with the ball in the back third, and now you're in trouble.
Spoils incredible environment and atmosphere here at the Titan Soccer Complex, but in the end, history made. Titans fall 3-2 to Daytona State here tonight in Melbourne. For Eddie Rodriguez, our producer Brian Foster, and especially our director John Bober, he and his wife Ramona celebrating their 35th anniversary. What does he get to do? He gets to work for the 3rd straight year. Congratulations, John and Ramona, on that. Congratulations to the Falcons. They get the 3-2 victory. I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long. We'll see you next time on WEFS.
We now return to our regularly scheduled